Well, hello everybody, welcome back. I'm really glad you could join me once again. Now, it is quite a rainy day here in Edinburgh, which is typical for the end of summer going into September. But on days like this, I always think that the best thing to do is just to embrace the weather and try to do something beautiful or fun. So that is exactly what I'm doing. I'm spending the day indoors, and I'm just working on a little painting. Now, I used to paint quite a lot in the past, but it's something I haven't done for about 7 years. So I thought recently that I should get back into it as I was really missing painting. But I needed to refresh my mind and really take a little look about the basics of painting and how to get started. So I wanted to share with you an online platform called Craftsy, and Craftsy just happened to be sponsoring today's video, so I thought that I would share it with you. So Craftsy is an online community and resource where millions of crafters and DIY enthusiasts like me can find inspiration and learn new skills. So yes, I've been using it over the last few months, and I have to say it is a wonderful resource to really learn something new or just brush up on a skill that perhaps you've lost a little bit. So I've been using Craftsy recently to improve my cooking. You all know that I love to cook and bake. They have lots of online classes and demonstrations for cooking and baking, so I've managed to find a few new delicious recipes, and now I've been watching a few classes about the basics of painting, which has really helped me to get out my canvas and start painting again, which is wonderful. So those are the ones that I've been doing, and in terms of what I still want to learn, there are so many different things that they have on there, like crochet, knitting, painting, yoga, cake decorating, woodwork, and just so much more. So I would like to brush up on my sewing skills again. I used to do sewing many years ago, and I think that when you have a home and you're trying to decorate and take care of it, it's good to be able to sew so that you can do things like make curtains and cushions. So that is one that I definitely want to try again. So yes, Craftsy has been really a wonderful resource for me in terms of learning new skills and brushing up on ones that I already had. So I'm delighted to let you know that if you would like to try Craftsy for yourselves, the first 1,000 viewers to click the link in the description box will get a full year's premium membership for the price of just $1.49. So yes, all you need to do is click on the link in the description box, and the first 1,000 viewers to do so will get a full year premium membership for the price of just $1.49. And I will say, run, don't walk, because this is a really wonderful online resource and community of people who love crafts and DIY, and it's just a great place to, as I said, hone your skills or try something new. On a rainy day like this, it is a really wonderful thing to do. So I will show you the little painting that I've been working on. I have to say I'm a little bit embarrassed. I haven't painted for a very long time, and I'm definitely rusty. So I've been working on this little painting of a bud of roses that I took a photograph of back in the spring. For me, I find it a little bit easier to work on looking from a photograph or a picture rather than from still life. As I get back into painting, I think I will be able to do still life again, but this is just my little practice run for now. So please do not judge. It is very basic. It is kind of like my lessons getting back into painting, so it's certainly by no means a masterpiece, but still so much fun and very relaxing. I'm going to show you my dining room. We've got a bit of sun, so this is going to be in natural light. There's Sophie. And I'm going to be very careful not to be too shaky with this camera, because I know that can be an issue. So let's just pick up, here we go. So this is the new paint colour in the dining room. I'm really happy with it. I think it looks elegant and chic, and it looks really different in all lights. So you can see now we have a bit of sunlight and it looks soft and quite bright too. But then as it darkens down in the evening, you have lamps on, it's really cozy and quite moody as well. But I just think it adds a real subdued elegance to the room now, rather than the stark white that was there before. And I like the way that it works with the frames of these prints here. And these, I've had them for quite a few years, and I really loved these frames. I've got some beautiful flowers from the local florist here in Newtown, Edinburgh. These are all picked from the Highlands of Scotland, very local and natural. So I just asked for a really loose bouquet, and I think these work really well in the room. And then here we've got a little oil painting by my good friend Jonathan Fremantle. He does a collection called The Daily Studies, where every day he creates a small artwork, and he sells those for, I think, £200. And this is actually Jonathan's easel. He's had this since he was, I think he said he was 16. His father gave it to him as a gift, and you can see that it's got a lot of wear and tear, but he said that this is his most prized possession. And the reason why it's in my dining room is because Jonathan has actually been painting my portrait as a gift. So he left that here a few days ago and he's going to collect it soon. But yes, back to the dining room. Apologies, you can just hear my washing machine going off. I've set the table in here just to show you how it looks when the table's set. I've took the bench from the living room and put it here so we have more seating. We have the rug, and a new addition is the chandelier. You may or may not remember the old one. It was a really, I think, ugly modern white globe. In fact, it is just here on the floor along with the paint. So I managed to find this one. It was within my budget. I think it was about £75, and I just think it looks simple and elegant. And I actually have, now that I've seen the colour of the shades here, I'm thinking that I would like to paint the mouldings. I always forget the name of these things. The mouldings and the skirting boards in that kind of straw colour of the shades. I think it would just look a lot better than the white. I'm really trying hard not to go too fast with this camera, because this is the camera that I use to film at Château de Curzay. I sometimes use my iPhone when I'm doing little tours like this, but the bonus of using this camera is that it picks up the microphone, whereas my iPhone does not. So the sound is better, but it is a lot more wobbly, so I'm really trying to be careful. So I'm just going to walk across here to the kitchen so you can have a view from the kitchen. But I would love to know what you think of the dining room. I'm really happy with the way that it's turned out. And as I mentioned, my portrait that is being done by Jonathan, that is actually going to go on that wall there. And it is a full-length portrait of me. So that will really fill out the room and add, I think, an architectural dimension, because the painting is of me stood by the window in the living room. You can see the window, the sunlight. Sophie's in it too, by my feet. So I just think it will add something to that wall. On the opposite side, we have the big sash window, so it will kind of be a little bit symmetrical. So yes, this is the dining room. Let me know what you think. I think it has been a really nice project. It's turned out really well. It looks elegant, simple, but beautiful. And I'm just going to come back and show you the full length. So I've got the door open, because in the summer when we have this gorgeous weather, I always like to keep the door open and let in the fresh air. So Sophie likes to sit in this little sunspot and keep an eye on proceedings. So I just wanted to take this little moment to say thank you for all of your amazing comments that you left on the video about Château de Curzay. It was so exciting to be able to share that moment with you and reveal what we're going to be doing over the next 5 months. So there were quite a lot of comments about certain things that I would like to just clear up and make sure that I'm not misleading. So the most common question that was asked on the video was, where is Sophie? And of course that was a really valid question. If I'm going to be away for 5 months, who is having Sophie and where is she? So the first thing to say is that although I didn't really make it clear, and that wasn't intentional by the way, we're not going to be there for 5 months non-stop consecutively. We're going to be visiting over the next 5 months for a week or two at a time. Mostly just 4 nights, 5 nights, so that we can capture all of the content throughout the seasons and get everything that we need to do. So during the times that we're at the chateau, Peggy and Sophie will be staying here at my house with a very wonderful dog sitter called Lucy, who looks after the dogs. So they're going to be here. Peggy stays here quite a lot when Nathan's travelling for work, so she's really used to my house. And obviously Sophie has been here for 4 years with me. So that is the best solution, to keep them here with the dog sitter. Dogs like routine, and the last thing they want is to be travelling on an aeroplane to stay at the chateau, and it's also very, very expensive to do that. So the dogs will be staying here in Edinburgh when we are at the chateau. Sophie is just sitting at the door still now, enjoying the sun, so I'm not going to disturb her, but I really love the way that everybody is so invested in her little life and that you all care so much for Sophie. I find it very, very sweet. Sophie's been having some health issues recently that I thought that I would share. So I noticed about a month ago that she had quite a bad cough. Whenever she got up in the morning and got out of bed, she was hacking, like really hacking and coughing. And then when we went on for our walks outside, she was very slow and again hacking. So I took her to the vet 2 weeks ago, and he listened to her lungs, and there's something not right with her lungs. He can tell that she's really struggling with that. So he gave her some steroid pills to take. She's been taking those for the last 2 weeks, and yesterday we went back to the vet for a checkup. And by the way, the pills have been really wonderful. The cough has almost gone. She only coughs now when she's very excited. So when we go for a walk, she gets excited and she starts to cough a little bit, but nowhere near as bad as before. And then when she has her food, her meal, she gets excited and she does it then. But it is completely reduced other than that. So we took her to the vet yesterday for a checkup, for a reassessment, and he said that he can still hear that she's struggling with her lungs. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue on the pills for 2 more weeks until we finish them, and then we'll decide whether we need to have an x-ray and find out what the problem is with her lungs. She also has some arthritis, so she has been given an injection. She'll have to have that once a month, and I can say that she had it 2 weeks ago and I can see a huge improvement in her mobility. So it's very sad. She's 12 years old. This is my first dog that I've had on my own, and I've always dreaded this time. I mean, ever since the day that I got Sophie, I was even thinking then, I'm really dreading the day that she's going to get old and leave me. It's going to be incredibly, incredibly painful when that time comes. But I will say that it is quite a privilege to take care of an old dog. It makes me feel very, very lucky and special that I get to give her some nice times as she gets old and make sure that she has the most comfortable life possible as an old lady. And she's such a lovely, lovely girl. She hasn't really changed that much. She still has the moments of, in fact, most of the time she's like a puppy. She gets excited about life. She seems happy to be alive. So she's still my little companion, and I absolutely adore the bones of her. So I just wanted to say thank you for all of the comments about Sophie. It's so lovely that you love her as much as I do, and I think she has become part of our YouTube family as well. In fact, I think people love Sophie more than they love me, which is very, very sweet. So I just thought that I would share that information about Sophie. She's fine, but we're going to keep monitoring her. So please, everybody, send your good wishes and thoughts. Keep Sophie in your thoughts, because I hope that we get a few more years yet of her being here. Please, please, please. So yeah, that's the little update about the chateau. We're going to be going back to the chateau on the 21st of September for 4 nights and filming some more stuff there. We're going to be doing lots of videos. We've got some exciting stuff planned. We are just sorting out some nice little props to use at the chateau, which I'm not going to tell you about because I want it to be a surprise, but that's going to be so fun. And it is just so exciting to know that every month I get to go to France and spend time at the chateau, because as you know, I really do love architecture, old buildings, interiors, so it's a real dream to be able to spend time there and of course share it here. I think it spices up the channel a little bit. But for all of those who were asking and saying, oh, we're going to miss the house and life in Edinburgh, I'm still going to be here every single week as well, sharing life in Edinburgh. So that is it. I think that is all from me for this week, a little short episode, but I hope that you enjoyed it and found it fun and interesting. I will see you next week. I'm going to be in London with Nathan. We're staying at the Goring Hotel, which is one of the oldest hotels in London and a favourite of the royal family. So I will be sharing our time there. I look forward to seeing you then, but until then, have a really lovely weekend and I will see you next time. Bye bye.